Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of the Basement Outback podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Aurora XD, and I'm here as always with Soaring Sloth.
Boo, hi, and today we have a very special guest, Mirabeau Studo. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I don't introduce myself often. Hi, I am niche internet micro celebrity. I was not sanctioned by my company to appear in this interview, but that's why I kind of just went my own way, and I'm currently in the woods recording this so they don't find me.
Ah, I see.
That's smart.
There must be good Wi-Fi over there.
But I guess I'll just mention now that I met Mira around 2018, and for the people who have followed my channel for a few years, Mira animated the Mild West in I think it was June or July of 2018. And at the time, he had 19,000 subs, and now is rapidly approaching 300K. So it's kind of crazy how much his channel has grown.
I live in constant fear.
I suppose you could say Mira just does a combination of SFM and Blender content on YouTube. And today is Mira's episode, and we're going to talk a little bit about, I guess, nostalgia games in general. But first, I kind of wanted to start off the conversation with if you could just give us like a pretty brief rundown of your history on YouTube and how you got into animating to begin with.
It's been like 8 years since my first video. Well, I started getting into SFM around August of 2015, and I'm trying to remember why I ended up doing that anyway. I think it was because I knew about Gary's Mod beforehand, and I was learning that there was this animation software called Source Filmmaker, and you could take Gary's Mod add-ons, like the models in those add-ons, and put them in Source Filmmaker. And I was just kind of curious about, throwing a bunch of different characters together and doing whatever my 14-year-old brain could come up with. What kind of funny, wacky 14-year-old humor stuff I could do. And then for a while I did not take animation seriously as like an art form. It was just like a way to like vent my 14-year-old brain onto the internet sphere. So now I take animation very, very seriously.
No, I respect animators heavily because, I think sometimes we forget how hard animation is and, like, how much we take it for granted. Because that stuff, like, especially if it's hand-drawn, oh my lord, like, that will take you eons. Like, I don't know how people are able to sit through it. Like, I remember taking an animation class back in 2020, and, even though it was, like, like, basic, it was, like, the most, like, simple animation class, like, I don't want to ever go down that route in my life, but I respect people that do, and, I understand why people enjoy it, so.
Yeah, like, I guess I'm in a similar boat where, like, and I've seen some of the stuff in your server, Mira, so I'm sure you've seen it, but yeah. It's, like, just very non-animated, like, just still photography Blender stuff, kind of like 3D renders.
You've done a couple of, like, simulation stuff, too, though.
Yeah, but it's like you have like simulations where you do a lot of like weird like geometry node things to like manipulate to like animate it that way, and then there's like full on like making like a bone armature and that whole process is like a completely different direction.
Yeah, the character acting is different.
Yeah, and the whole like I've also noticed because like I said, like I first met you in 2018, and since then your animation has gotten so much more fluid, and that's not something you can just like immediately pick up. Like you have to spend like a long time animating before you get like that realistic movement.
No, yeah.
Just keyframing it right so that it's more natural, I guess.
Yeah, and it involves watching people a lot.
Yes, staring at them through your window on the street.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I guess the next thing I was going to ask is your videos typically on YouTube, I see they range. You have some that are like kind of shorter, just kind of joking things. And then you have like a year ago, you made a Zur Sleepwalker, which is like 28 minutes long. So I guess leading into that, my question was, how long typically does it take you to make one of your longer animations like that from start to finish? Like, I guess that video specifically, like, how long did it take? And did you have any help with, I'm sure you did, but did you have any help specifically from people in that process?
Yeah, for Sleepwalker, I'm trying to remember, we started production. It depends on what production was, because getting all the assets together to and all the people and all the organizing the scenes and who would be animating what. When did that come out? January 31st, 2022? And I see here that I got lines from one of the voice actors around April 2021. So that might have been around 8 to 9 months, excluding any prerequisite animation we did beforehand. But
so that's not including like the script or any of that stuff, like just writing it out.
Yeah, actually getting in and animating each scene, that started around that point. So I would just hazard a guess that it took like a year.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy, because okay, don't yell at me. Okay, I don't keep up super closely with your channel, but like fuck? Whenever you upload, I'll get a notification, and I remember when I was dropping, I'm like, oh my god, there's a 28-minute this is an actual, like, not feature length film, but it's like an actual, like, short film. That's crazy. And I know you also did a music video, correct? Which was a little more recent. And how was that? Because I feel like it's a bit of a different process. You have to sync stuff to music, and there's a little different approach to that. Just kind of explain that.
I got a lot of things to say about that music video that will land me in unfortunate places.
Oh
fuck!
Ooh, wow! Am I willing to say this in a public podcast? Oh wow!
Some spicy discussion for the podcast.
Oh man!
Oh, don't say anything maybe that could incriminate you or anything.
Well, there's no NDA things because it's like done.
Yeah,
it's been done for like a year or two, a year and a half or something like that.
This October 24th, 2022 is when it was uploaded.
Yeah. I was approached by someone to help make the music video in Source Filmmaker at first, using models that we would Frankenstein together into like characters that we would use for the music video in Source Filmmaker. And in my hubris, I was like, hey, why not do this in Blender? Here, I will just model these characters for you. And I only got paid for the character modeling and not the animation I did.
Ooh.
Oh, that
sounds awful.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I am so sorry for that.
Yeah, I actually had no idea like that was the case.
I don't know if that was because he was like too late to like talk about the budgeting for that. I guess that we already figured. Well, I wasn't involved in any of the budgeting for the thing, and I like scope crept the entire project, and for reasons that would be really, really funny to disclose in a public podcast, I just dropped it. I just left and just left them to finish it, which is why it's not as good as it could have been.
Ah, gotcha.
That's a really rough situation all around. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah. And I know that's not like the first time that's happened to an animator too.
Yeah.
Like not getting paid fairly for your work is not something that it's not fun.
You hear all the stories about the animation industry within the past couple of years, and I really feel for a lot of animators out there. I mean, I don't know if we should dabble into that, but like, there's a lot of unfair stuff there, and I still can't believe how some of the things that have happened. Like,
yeah.
All the tax write-offs, like, oh my lord.
I still have no idea how a tax write-off works.
I don't even know that, like, either. Like, imagine, like, working on something for several years, having your entire, like, work of art be written off as a tax off, or what?
Tax write-off.
Yeah. Sorry,
it is.
I'm fumbling my words right now, but like, just imagine
A
that
tax
happening.
off would be even better, just not having to pay taxes. That'd be pretty cool.
True. I hate the others. No, I'm just kidding.
Evil.
No, but like, seriously, just imagine working on something for several years, having like being written off, and like you literally can't share it with anybody. You just have to act like nothing ever happened for like the past couple years. Like, that just sounds like such an awful scenario to be in. I actually feel for so many people. Like, that would like kind of destroy me mentally.
Yeah. Well, that is very unfortunate that happened to you, Mira. And I kind of I want the next question to be a little more lighthearted.
A bit more
that I
upbeat.
asked. But do you have any projects in the works for the future, or any that you're working on right now? And you don't have to be super specific if it's like not something you want to unveil on a public podcast. But any like big projects or notable projects?
I think soon-ish, after this one video that I animate for what's basically a commission or a collaboration, we're just gonna get started on the sequel for Sleepwalker.
Nice.
Okay.
We'll like actually get more than 2 animators on the project this time.
I will contribute if there's a way that I can help. And you don't have to pay me.
What the fuck?
Aurora, we'll do it
my
for
God.
free.
Peter, what are you doing? Working for free?
What the fuck? Literal
Alright,
hive
so
mind.
I enjoyed the rundown of your channel, kind of discussing how long it takes you to make the longer projects. I'd now like to shift it to kind of the main topic of this episode, which was going to be nostalgia games, or just the kind of stuff we played growing up. Nothing, it doesn't have to be specific, but I wanted to start it off asking, the kind of consoles or like handheld gaming stuff you had growing up, and like what games would you say you spent the most playing as a kid?
I better hear one licensed game from the 2000s.
Which like, okay, growing up, I was exposed to the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the DS line, the Wii, so no GameCube or Xbox or PS1, I think.
Just calling me out there.
Games. So, the thing about PS2 was my dad had this drive that you would plug into the back of the PS2 that contained a lot of games, which were accessed through this Tomb Raider disc that you would slot in to the PS2. I don't know how it like turned into that collection of games, but there were a lot of games in there. There was mostly like Lego Star Wars was what I played, like Lego games like Indiana Jones.
I have to ask, Lego Star Wars 1 or 2?
It's, the complete saga, honestly.
Okay, you know what? I fuck with that. I fuck with that.
We're checking all the boxes.
Yeah, I just prefer all of it. There was Spider-Man 3.
Ooh.
I'm going to die.
I'm going to die.
I wish I had an opinion on Spider-Man 3, but I've literally never played it. But there's been like 50 Spider-Man games in the last 20 years or whatever. So.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man video game timeline is quite vast, and I did not own a PS3 as a kid, so unfortunately I missed out on a couple Spider-Man games. But I did play Spider-Man 2 with the ever so famous pizza thief.
That was there too.
Yes, that's the iconic one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a habit of I have had a habit of playing games and never finishing them. So I never really got to the end of a lot of games. I just remember not completing games. Basically, that's I think the one I sunk so many hours into was this obscure Gundam game. Actually, besides that, there were a bunch of other Gundam games. I think there were so many PS2 games that we played that were Gundam themed. That's a giant robot. If the hounds, I think I hear the hounds. I
Are the hounds here?
I think, I see them in through the foliage, about
Oh no.
500 meters away, but it shouldn't be a problem. I don't think they see me.
Oh, okay, yeah. No worries.
So SD Gundam G Generation Wars is this. It looks like Fire Emblem.
Oh, no shot.
They're Gundams. They're these robots, but they're deformed, and not in like a bad way. They just look more cartoonish, and I don't know how many hours I sunk into it. Maybe like 250, and yeah, I really like those types of games.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I know Sloth is a big Fire Emblem player.
I am the big Fire Emblem nerd. So like once you said it was like Fire Emblem, you struck a chord with me.
Yeah, with the DS, the 3DS. Actually, that SD Gundam game is how I got into Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yo, no way!
I saw the characters on the tiles, and I was like, that's the game I like. That's the game I like.
That's the one.
Awakening was my first Fire Emblem, so you're in good hands. You're in good hands.
Yeah, let's see what else. We had Fire Emblem Fate. No, you never finished that.
The last one I think was Echoes. Echoes was all right. It was a very different experience, though.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the Wii, there was a Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That one, which they're making a sequel for after all these years. What else? There was like a couple Mario games on the Wii. Sonic and the Secret Rings.
I think I had like 5 opportunities to play that as a kid, and I never took any of them.
I played a lot of Sonic. Well, I'd say a lot. I played a moderate amount of Sonic 06. But even as a kid, just didn't like it. And looking back, like how broken the game was, it's definitely not one of the highest rated ones.
I mean, you picked Sonic 06.
Yeah, I think it's funny, Mira, that you mentioned having the habit of not like playing a game but not finishing it, because I mean I do that now, but back in my earlier years. I had a GameCube and I guess a Wii. We started using our Wii to play GameCube games because of thank you Nintendo for having backwards compatibility. But we never bought an SD card. Like we just didn't buy one for whatever reason. Either we had one and we lost it, or we never bought one to begin with. I don't remember, but I would play something like Mario Kart Double Dash, and me and my brother would spend like 5 hours trying to unlock anything, knowing the second we hit the power button or our power went out or anything, we just lose everything and have to start over again.
That's rough.
It's actually like, I didn't think of it as terrible at the time. Like, this is the first time I've really had to reflect on it since you mentioned that. But it's such a sad existence, bro. Like, we had the SpongeBob movie video game, the one that came after or before or after Battle of Bikini Bottom. And we played all the way through it until like the last mission, never beat the last mission, and we're like so sad when we had to turn the GameCube off.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I couldn't imagine living in a world where I actually couldn't save in a video game and you just had to play around it, and just on the off when where you had to turn off the console or your power went out, like I would feel so destroyed, man. Like I would just not want to pick up a game ever again after that.
And we kind of fell into this trend of playing like GameCube games that were, like animated movie video games. Like we had the Ratatouille game, we had The Incredibles, we had like I said, the SpongeBob one.
I remember The Incredibles.
I know. You do?
Yeah, there were 2 of them, I think. One of them was just Mr. Incredible and Frozone, and the other one was 4 players.
I know there's one where you played as the fast kid. I forgot his name. But
Dash?
That was another one that me and my brother it was like a Saturday morning, and we're gonna play all the way through this. Got all the way through, felt incredible, and never really touched it again. And I know recently we rediscovered where our GameCube is because we kept it in a pretty dang good place. It didn't collect dust or anything. It's just in like a cardboard box, and like the joy of beating a game like that again is really cool because there's something about like the more primitive 3D games that just like strike a chord with me. For some reason, like GameCube era specifically is like it's not as low poly as the N64. Like they started to get like shading and they had more complex stuff going on, but it's not like AAA games you see today or anything.
I think it's kind of funny to like at least compare like games from the 2000s to even like the 2010s, because like you look at movie tie-in games, like you cannot find that same kind of feel like now. Like that certain level of jank you felt back then with like 3D
Yeah.
collectathons from like movie tie-in games. Like it's just not the same, and I kind of miss it.
Yeah, like almost all of those games, to be fair, like I was a kid, so I didn't care, but they did play like super awkwardly, but like I think I liked it because of that it wasn't like super straightforward with the controls. I don't know. And you always had like early 3D games where like the camera would not rotate the direction you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to, and you had to manually adjust it. Like I see SM64 speedrunners like do that all the time just because certain spots of the map like they can't. That's really just intriguing to me. I don't know. It's like one of those novelty things where you love to see it because it's old. It's like it's what makes it fun.
You truly never lived if you haven't like made a connection with a movie tie-in game or just a licensed game in general from the 2000s. I swear, like everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. They owned one. They bought it from the dollar bin like at some point in time, and they played through like a ton of it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, I did like. Okay, there's a store by me that opened like last year, right? And they have like specifically refurbished retro game stuff. I immediately went and got a GameCube SD card, and now I actually have saves for my games now.
you no longer have to worry about the power
happy.
going out.
It was $7.99 too. It was so cheap for a GameCube.
You could have
like,
solved all your problems if you literally just looked a little bit further and spent $8. How crazy is
and
that?
it was like a third party one, and because like I guess it was made newer, it was still refurbished, but it was like I don't know what sizes the GameCube ones were, but this one was like 256 megabytes or something, which is like crazy large. For the
Wait,
GameCube at the
I think I might have it. Is it a Mad Catz like memory card?
I think so.
Oh
Yeah.
my lord, I have one. It's blue. I just
You do?
I just remember like
Okay,
it has
that sounds
like
right.
the 256 on it too. Like
I'm falling into a habit again where like I haven't played it in a while. It's been like probably 6 months, but that sounds right to me. That's the one I got. But it's really cool that you even have. I mean, there's like stuff like GameStop, right? But people like just some nerd will like open up a store like that for people who want to like restore their old stuff. And like they'll do repairs on it too. Like you can bring it in and pay them, and they'll repair like your broken disk drive or whatever.
Oh, wait. Yeah, because I think maybe like a couple years ago, the PS2 died, I think.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I can actually go over there and get that repaired?
yeah,
You could. I would look into it and search, but I guarantee you, knowing I assume you don't want me to disclose the state in which you live in on stream, but you could probably find it. Near you.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It's a crazy thought comparing like just like I don't know buying games now than you did like back then, because like all the stuff I grew up with now, like it's all like kind of just like I wouldn't say decomposing, but like a lot of older stuff I have, like it's I mean you're lucky if it still works. So
Yeah, you and me and my brother took horrible care of our discs. We would take the game out of its disc, like the little miniature GameCube disc, and just keep them in a stack of just the discs exposed to the air and everything. And like we'd have like pancakes with syrup for breakfast, and then be touching all over the disc. And yeah,
dude, out of
we had like absolutely zero care for the health of our discs.
out of all the consoles I have owned over the years, the one that did not survive up until like the current day was basically my GameCube library. Nothing survived outside of like I think like 2 or 3 licensed games that I do not care for, and like all my first party stuff is just ruined and scratched up. So it really sucks, but thankfully, like I have a beast of a computer that can play some of these games.
You can just
on my Nintendo PC, of course. So.
Yes, the Nintendo PC. I guess that'll lead us into our next question. And I want to hear your opinion on this, Mira. Growing up, like, it was a lot more, I guess, mainstream or just practical to go to a physical store like GameStop or whatever your equivalent was, versus just like you buy everything online now. Like the novelty of going into a GameStop and like just manually searching for the game you want and then just buying it, kind of as a lost art. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I actually remember going to both GameStop, but there was also this other third-party store that had that we could rent games from, and I remember renting a couple, like Batman Arkham Asylum, I think. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that place, but well, I was never able to buy games with my own money back then. I would have to beg my parents to bring me over there.
I was at that. I did that as well.
Yeah,
There's no
usually
shame.
There's a GameStop at the mall that we would go to sometimes, and like we'd usually like go in to the GameStop and just see what they have. I remember I remember hearing about Dark Souls 2, and I wanted to try that out. That was I think I went with Dark Souls 2 instead of Dark Souls 1 because Dark Souls 2 was rated T for teen, so that was the only one I would have been able to play. Yeah, that was the whole age rating thing. That was wild. That's a different world.
Yeah, my parents would not let me. The only rated M games they let us get is if there were aliens or zombies involved and it wasn't like people killing people. So we could get like I'm trying to think. Halo wasn't rated M, was it? No, it was like T.
Yeah.
Like Left 4 Dead or some of the old Alien games.
Bro, Dead Space.
Who?
Yeah. But we played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 on the Xbox because that was like one of the first games. And then I think the first game we actually got away with playing, and we didn't even buy it. It's because our neighbor had it down the street. Was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It was the first real like rated M game we got. And I think eventually we convinced our parents to get it, but they'd only let us play zombies. So yeah, they were pretty strict about that rule until maybe I was in 8th or 9th grade, and then I just play whatever now. But yeah, it was like you really had to beg them or like convince them that it wasn't super violent for like my parents to get me a game.
Yeah, my family wasn't super strict with, what I could play and couldn't play. It was mostly just like by the time like my oldest sibling turned 14, it was more of just like, all right, you know what, anything's fair game. So, we kind of took advantage of that as kids. So, I mean, I think the only time they said like no to a game that we like bought was, I think, Grand Theft Auto 5, which I mean, like, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But
that was another one I just snuck off and played at my neighbor's place. And the only thing I cared about in GTA 5, bro, was like this dude had like a really nice car. It was like a Dodge Challenger or a Corvette or something in GTA 5. And I just like drive it around. And he would always tell me, if you damage my car, I'm going to kill you. Like, do not damage my car. And I'm like, but it's a video game. And he's like, you don't understand how much grinding it took me to get this car. It probably took a lot, but yeah, there was always that we were pretty cheeky about just working around that. Another thing I really miss is the need to actually, because like when I was little, all I had was cash, right? I didn't have a debit card, so when like a relative would give me money for my birthday or Christmas, I just immediately go to GameStop. And I guess starting in like, because I got Steam in 2014, I would have been in 7th grade, or no, 6th grade actually. Wait.
2014, right?
8th grade.
Yeah,
8th grade. I'm forgetting. It's been too long. I go in and get like a $20 Steam card. That's like the first time I learned about the summer sale, which is relevant because like as we're recording this, it's like July 8th. It's going on.
Yeah.
But like, and then I was with my brother. It was like 2018. This was like my last year of high school, and I had just gotten a debit card, and I was like getting a Steam card, and I was in the GameStop checkout, and my brother looked down. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm buying a Steam card." He's like, "You have a debit card," and I like did like a face palm, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I don't need this anymore." But I was like sad because I still have in like my drawer over here like a collection of every one I bought. There's like $400 worth of Steam cards over like 6 years that I bought that are just like there's no need for them anymore.
Huh.
But I miss that, man. Like Minecraft too, right? Like you went to GameStop and you got like a $27 Minecraft card to activate your account.
Yeah, there was like they had like all the like they had those like racks, whatever, like with just like a bunch of like random just cards for like digital money, or just like even just buying a game digitally.
It would have been for like Sims, Roblox, Minecraft, Club Penguin, all that stuff.
The one game that sticks out of my mind, like from those racks that I just thought was completely weird, was a fucking Planet 51 online game. Like,
oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Like, there was only one on the rack of like 50 or like 100, but like it was there and it always stood out of me. Like,
I played that for like 2 days and then just never played it again.
Like, what kind of game was it? Like, even like, was it just an MMO? Like,
I think
there's no way they can make Planet 51 an MMO.
It's been so long, but I just remember I took interest in it for like a day or two and then never played it.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, you know, you look at a store like GameStop, you browse and you're just like, huh, that exists. I kind of look back on it, I'm just like, I kind of wish I at least saw what it was like just for the fun of it, because I don't know, it couldn't have been good. It couldn't have been good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a GameStop Silver member card, like a physical card, which they stopped doing in 2013, I think, 2014, 2013. And ours is from March 2011, because it says on your receipt every time you purchase something, even now, it'll say when you were first a member. So it's crazy that it's been 12 years and like 5 months now, or 4 months. That's a long, long time.
Man.
There are kids playing Fortnite that are younger than the age of my GameStop physical player rewards card.
Don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that. Oh my lord. I feel insane. Old.
I'm old, bro. I'm like 80 years old, man. It's crazy.
We're all old. Fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, technology has just, you know, advanced to the point where we just there's no need. But at the same time, like, I think the novelty of collecting retro stuff has come back a lot in the last few years. Especially like I guess, you know, a thing this podcast focuses around is speedrunning, and I've seen a lot of people who do, like I was saying, like Super Mario 64 is something that you usually run physically on a Nintendo 64, and they have some that are like refurbished at this place near me for like $150 or something. So it's not even that outrageous. Like, certainly if you calculate for inflation, you'd be still paying less than it was worth when it came out, which is a pretty good deal.
I still think it's crazy because, like, I mean, as someone who's speedrun for 5 years, there's like several speedruns I've wanted to like try out myself, but like the barrier of entry is just ridiculously high because, you know, most leaderboards for games from like, you know, like the 2000s and even like the 1990s, I mean, like, you need to play on official hardware with like, you know, an official cartridge, and it's, you know, it's pretty hard to snag them nowadays. Like, I mean, you know, it's pretty easy to snag them if you have the money, but most people don't want to pay like scalper prices, and, you know, I think that kind of like steers people away from even like trying out these speed runs. And I kind of wish we just didn't live in a world where you had to deal with that. Like, nobody wants to pay like $100-$200 for like a game like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, man. Like, I fucking hate that so much. Like everything I grew up with, like, if I wanted to go back and like buy it physically, like, I have to like go empty out like half a paycheck or something. Like, it's so stupid.
Exactly. And it depends on the game too, because like I could go right now and pick up a copy of Wii Sports from one of those places for like $2, right? But if I want to get like, you know, I don't know, Mario Party 6 or one of the earlier Mario Parties on GameCube or Wii, it's going to be at least, like, bare minimum, and this depends on the quality of the disc, like $150 or higher just for the game. It's that in demand or just like popular that drives the price up. I was having trouble finding decently cheap even Guitar Hero games because of Guitar Hero streamers where like people were going out and buying them. And I was fortunate enough to where I was helping my mom's friend move like a couple years ago, and they had this trailer I was moving stuff out of, and they had a perfectly preserved Guitar Hero 2 like wired guitar, and I just asked if I could like take it, and they were cool with it. So they even paid me to help them move, but that was like the most valuable thing I got out of that, because finding like a near mint condition something like that is going to be like triple digit prices.
Yeah, you're lucky you scored that. The only thing you can find for cheap, like at least from that era now, are just like really like bottom of the barrel licensed games, which, I mean, some people are interested in, but even then, it's just like at that point it's like, I'm not even gonna go hunt them down.
Yeah, I'm not really attached to physical copies of games anymore, at least.
I'm not attached to Barnyard for the GameCube.
It's got to be, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me to like get a disc for like, I don't know, Fortnite for PC, and it's because that's not like, people don't do that, but I'd still 100% like go, and even if I could, I don't know, I guess it's a collector's thing. I'm not like super interested, but I could see myself like finding like Mario Party just to play natively on the GameCube or something. But at this point, like especially since for my channel, which has been super inactive, but I'm planning to do like a thing on GameCube games, I want to get my old Elgato I have, which has a connection cable, and actually record gameplay myself, so I don't have to just credit anybody else for getting it off of YouTube or whatever. But it's like a long process, but I don't know. I guess I feel like especially now, like if you talk to somebody a lot younger, they're very they don't value physical as much. Which I mean, we're all pretty much playing stuff on PC, so that's a different story. But like, I'm a huge collector of like CD, vinyl, and like a lot of, not because I need to, not because it's like the practical way to listen, but it's cool to just actually like look at the art on the album or look at the disc and actually listen to it. Front to back. There's no skipping around or playing your favorite song. There's like the, I guess the push is like, artists wanting people to listen to their project front to back the way they recorded it is a big thing, rather than just play one song. And, a lot of these older albums too, like, I'm big on like 90s, like I'm a bit of a Radiohead fan, like, OK Computer is one that you just need to listen like front to back. But it's like it depends on the artist too. Like some people they do the singles thing where it's like you can jump around, like I guess like The Weeknd or somebody. And even I have his stuff, which the tracks like are made to flow into each other. Even then, it's like you cannot hear the track switch. It's like just continuous audio, which is crazy. Anyways, that was a little bit of a side tangent, but
I wish there was like a feature on Spotify, at least, where you could link two songs. So when one song plays, the other one has to play after it. And then it would like, you could go back to being put on shuffle.
Yeah. I mean, you could just make a custom playlist. That would be the only way to do it, I feel.
Yeah.
And then, that reminds me of people. There's like a trend where I guess it's a thing it's like something streamers will react to, where people will send them their hardest Spotify transitions, where it's like two completely unrelated songs from unrelated artists will flow perfectly into one another. Like just out of sheer coincidence.
I need to look into
like the same chord that ends a song will start the next one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And they'll put you can put the cross fading on, so it kind of like flows, like they fade into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is cool. But yeah, there's certain, like, I guess a good example is Queen. They made "We Will Rock You" and then "We Are the Champions."
Mm-hmm.
Those are songs that like I've heard some radio stations only play "We Will Rock You" and then some just play both back to back, because I think the original recording had both, but because I don't know, for reasons like maybe it was too long, they split it into two separate ones, which it's weird. But like they belong together. Like you should always play them together if they're in a playlist. That's like the best example I can think of that you're referring to.
Huh. I'll have to actually listen to that transition later.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's not like it's obvious because "We Will Rock You" has like the boom boom clap, boom boom clap, like, and it just cuts off and then the next song starts like immediately, but it's like it was originally one track. I know.
Oh.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Mira, about anything we didn't cover, or even going back to any like animation stuff that you wanted to talk about that maybe I missed?
I don't know if we missed anything. Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Well, I'll end it off with this question. When are you doing a face reveal? The people need to know. This is a pressing matter. There's no time for games. We need an answer, Mira. Come on, bro.
The people are watching.
I need to consult my hounds for this.
Okay.
They're not comfortable with me like having my face public, especially if it's like the face that they specifically want to tear off.
Of course,
yes.
Yeah. It's something you have to consult.
I still want to do live action skits and stuff, so terrorizing like local conventions maybe, but I don't know when I would want my face to not be concealed anymore.
Yeah. Do you think you'd ever switch up, like just have either on your current channel or have a separate channel for like a side project for stuff like that, like live action stuff?
I don't think that's my focus and really worth expanding on. I mean,
Yeah. I guess I was asking because, like, I have had the problem, and this might just be a me thing, but like, I've never known what kind of stuff I want to make just because I kind of appreciate a lot of different stuff. Like, I used to make gaming commentary, and like, then I did skits, and then I'd post my music there, and then I did short films, and then, it's like all over the place. And now I've just decided, well, if I want to do like live action stuff, I'll put that on a separate channel, and then all my video essays will just go on one.
Right.
But I also don't want to be like, like Max Mofo has like a Pokemon channel, a vlogs channel, a second channel, a main channel, his podcast channel. Like you kind of, it's tricky. Like you don't want to have, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to overwhelm yourself.
Yeah,
not one channel for everything, but also not like 50 channels for one.
Yeah, it's hard to like split your channel because you'd have to kind of divert. Like, I guess it depends on who would want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll just call it here then. I'm pretty much content.
I appreciate Mirabeau Studios for appearing in this episode of the Rax Cast. Or wait, no, I actually
the
just said the Rax
Cast.
Cast.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord!
Okay, that was my old podcast from like 2019.
Oh my god!
How did like my Neanderthal brain default to that? Okay, thank you Mirabeau Studios for being in this episode of the Basement Outback podcast. It was a pleasure talking about animation, YouTube stuff, and nostalgic games. What's not to love? So we will see you guys in a week with a new guest episode, and everybody take care.
Spoiler alert! It's Michelle Obama. I got her to sign on.
No way! I can't believe it! You can't leak that! No!